Hi, welcome to the second look at the Christmas 2021 weather prospects. As I film it, there are still 19 sleeps until the big day itself. Now, that may not sound like a very long time, but in weather terms, it most certainly is. So it's too early to make a definitive forecast, far too early, but I'm going to be looking at some of the pointers to try and see how things are starting to shape up. Before I do that, I thought I would quickly run through some of the classic white Christmases which occurred during the 20th century. The reanalysis charts I'm using here are available on the website and I'll post links to them below. So first of all, Christmas 1906 brought snow to much of the country, an area of low pressure centred over Scandinavia, and very cold air moving down from the north all the way across the UK. Next, Christmas 1917. Quite a similar pattern, low pressure there centred to the east, very cold air from the Arctic moving southwards once more across virtually the whole of the country. So another white Christmas for many. Moving forwards, 1923. Very cold air over the UK, and there's an area of low pressure which was pushing in from the west. I think that's probably what brought the widespread snow event. Next up, 1938, a different pattern here. High pressure centred to the northeast of the UK and bitterly cold air moving across the continent and into our part of Europe. So that also brought snow to many parts of the United Kingdom. Next is 1956. High pressure again centred to the northeast, and once again a very cold easterly flow moving in. And you can see there was probably snow associated with weather fronts trying to push in from the west or the southwest. Finally, 1970, we can see high pressure centred to the north of the UK, somewhere close to Iceland there, and a bitterly cold easterly flow covering the country. Those were the classic white Christmases the UK experienced during the 20th century. Is there any sign of something like that happening this year? Well, before I do that, I just thought I would show what the averages are. This is based on the 1981-2010 temperature series. So for much of the UK, it's between 5, 6 or 7 Celsius. Those are the sorts of temperatures which we should be expecting on Christmas Day. Obviously colder over the Scottish Highlands. It doesn't show particularly clearly here. You could just see a little bit of green shading there perhaps. But generally, in an average year, it's just not cold enough for snow to fall over most of the United Kingdom. So I'll step through some of the Ensemble data now just to look at the direction of travel, as I say, in the run-up to Christmas itself. I'm going to use the postage stamp charts initially. These run out to 16 days ahead. So at the moment that takes us through to 18 GMT on December the 21st. This one is showing forecast maximum temperatures from all of the individual runs within the GEFS ensemble. And I've annotated them because they are quite difficult to read on small screens. Currently, 5 out of the 31 are leaning cold in the south, and 11 out of 31 are leaning cold in the north. So what I've used on these stamps is the red spots are indicating mild conditions in the south and in the north here. The yellow spots are close to average conditions, and the blue spots are cold conditions. So you can perhaps take a look at it in a little bit more detail if you freeze the video. In terms of snow, these are the postage stamp charts again from the GEFS, but they are for 00 GMT on Wednesday the 22nd, so just 3 days before Christmas. We can see here that in the south UK, 2 out of 31 are going for falling snow. In the north, 8 out of 31. So in that run up to Christmas Day itself, the chances of snow look to be low or very low indeed. Here are the postage stamp charts showing the synoptic setup at the same time. It's worth taking a look at these because they give a clue as to how things perhaps could develop in the days which follow. So as I say, 22nd here, out of the 31 stamps, 18 of them are showing high pressure having a lot of influence. Most of those 18 have it building from the south. 5 out of the 31 are going for a mild southwesterly flow, and 8 out of 31 a west or a northwesterly flow. Those 8 would give a greater chance of snow in the northern half of the UK, especially over high ground. I think the thing of interest here is just what happens to that high pressure as it builds. Most of them have it building up from the south. Will it move far enough northwards to allow temperatures to really begin dropping, especially across southern and central Britain by Christmas Day itself? Well, this is the 500 HPA at height anomaly chart for Christmas week. Well, it's beginning on Sunday the 19th and it's going through to the 26th, so it's including Christmas Day. And what it shows is for higher than average pressure over much of the UK, the biggest anomaly there is in the north, the smallest in the south. This general picture, this general setup has been quite consistent now for several days, so it is starting to gain traction. Looking at the 850 HPA temperature anomaly chart for the same week, these temperatures are about 1,500 metres above sea level. There's a sign of slightly below average here in the south. Then as you head northwards, there's no anomaly at all. Finally, a little bit of pink shading starts to show up, which possibly just shows slightly above the 30-year average. Therefore, again, tentative indications of the high pressure building northwards across the UK, and colder air may be filtering in from the continent by Christmas Day itself. That would probably suggest a dry pattern across most of the UK. Just the outside chance, were it to develop like this, of a few wintry flurries pushing into southeastern England and maybe close to the east coast. I'll finish off by taking a look at the analogues. So this is where matches are made with current weather patterns to those in previous years to find which most closely correspond. Today, using this 60-day tracker, here is the top 10. So 1963, number 1 it was in my previous update, I think. 1968, number 2, and 1990 is number 3. All of those brought a white Christmas to parts of the UK. In fact, number 1 and number 2 were quite widespread events. But then as we go down, 1980, that also brought snow to the Midlands and the North. 2008, though, 1955, neither of those did. 2004, snowfall was quite widespread. 2011, 1977, and 2005, all green Christmases. Nonetheless, though, I think the analogues are still relatively promising. Better than the average would be my interpretation when assessing the risk of a white Christmas if it was solely been based on that data. But I think as the time frame starts to shorten, as Christmas becomes closer and closer, the analogues have less information to impart, and increasingly it's down to what the medium-range computer models are showing. So, to summarise, it remains too early to make a forecast, but currently computer models are suggesting higher than average pressure and close to average upper air temperatures, although perhaps dipping in southern Britain as the big day itself approaches. The analogues are more supportive of snow, with 50% of the top 10 bringing a white Christmas to at least parts of the United Kingdom. So, there we have it. If you are hoping for snow to fall this year, then you want to be backing the analogues and my lucky hat. Alternatively, if you are in the realism camp, stick with the computer models and expect it to be green in much of the United Kingdom. There is still time for things to change though, plenty of time, and I will film at least one more Christmas video special. So I hope you enjoyed this and found it useful. If you did, then please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Thanks now, bye.